Steph Schuler, and this is Real and Raw, and I have my co-host, Heather Sneed, with me today, and yes, say hi.
Hi, guys. Hi, girls.
We will be talking about trusting the unknown and just how, through our own personal experiences, what that looks like. We both are women who have attempted to navigate this world as fearless as possible. I mean, we definitely have fears, but we do a lot of unconventional life things that make us a little bit different, and kind of the pros and cons and what to look out for when you're trying to be a badass in this life and get all your shit taken care of, so maybe you don't have to come back around. That's my goal.
We like that. We believe in reincarnation.
Oh, yeah, we do.
And life lessons, and having to come back and redo things if you've made a few mistakes. It's like a school. Yeah,
I feel like we are in a big classroom.
We are.
Yes.
Good way of saying it. Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to let you go for the first time. Like, I'm the camera hog here and the mic hog. Can you put like some sound effects on?
I think you do well as a camera hog.
Oh, thank you. Well, good. I'm a hog.
Filling the dead space.
Right. I think there's a saying. It's saying hogs get slaughtered, pigs get fed. So be a pig.
Be a pig. Don't be a hog, right?
Yeah. But I'm clearly Queen Hog over here.
You're not.
Okay. So really, what does that mean to you? Like living a life that is fearless. Like, if you were to point out some things, what does that look like to you?
I think constantly reinventing yourself and constantly going out of your comfort zone to grow.
Okay, that most people are going to go, pump the fucking brakes. No, I like my comfort zone. I like safety. So you're basically saying, throw all this shit out and try something different? Like, what are we being reckless or what?
Your family and become a nomad gypsy shithead. No.
Oh, like Buddha.
Buddha. He also learned a lesson and went back.
He did, yeah. But
So he figured out the middle road, which is great. But what I mean is, don't get in a hamster wheel of stagnation, a cul-de-sac of, what am I doing? This is, am I just content? There's a
going through the motions.
Going through the motions. There's a sense within you. There's something going on within you saying, I'm meant for something more. I want something bigger. There's a knowledge out there that you can't find in a school or a church.
Absolutely.
And it just comes to you. A seeking at truth. And then you start to grow from that, and you break out of your comfort zone. You gain wisdom, you gain knowledge, and you're moving forward. Some people are so afraid of
the unknown.
Out of that.
Yeah, it's really the unknown.
It's a fear of the unknown.
Fear of the unknown. So I have Reiki clients, and a lot of times we will be talking about these kinds of things after their session or before their session. And one of the analogies that I provide them, because it's how I felt. I mean, there's so many times in my life where I'm like, oh my God, I feel this metaphorical noose around my neck.
Yeah.
And so when you don't do what you were just mentioning, what your soul is like, come on, it's like going to be kind of quiet in the beginning, because it's all about free will, right?
It's quiet, but sometimes all the time, if you ignore it, it'll knock gently.
That's it. That's the noose. Then it gets
punch
tight.
You in the face.
That's what I said.
And through maybe a terribly traumatic thing.
Yes.
Or very, very uncomfortable, whether it's divorce, whether it's a death, whether it's a loss of a job, whatever it is.
Right. If you don't listen, that's like I said, it's going to tighten.
You.
It's going to tighten. That noose it's going to feel a little uncomfortable in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
And then if you ignore it for long enough, it's like, all right, I'm going to tighten up and give you a little, like, snake squeeze, right?
Like, I'm really going to make you feel this.
Yeah.
And do something about it.
Yeah. So it's, to me, the way I look at it now, I'm like, it's coming down the pike for me.
Yeah.
Something is, because I've decided that I want to learn this lesson. So why won't I lean in? And I think that is one of the biggest lessons that I've learned in the last 5 years, is to actually lean in to fear.
Lean into it.
Not try to avoid it, not try and, drink it away, or, sleep it away, all that kind of stuff. Like, just to lean in, because the lesson's going to come for you. Like, why not make the most of it now?
So let me give you an example, a physical thing. Mm-hmm. I've been having trouble with, I've called it my back. I've called it my hip.
Okay.
But it's a series of discomfort
Uh-huh.
or areas in my body, which, make up soft tissue, iliopsoas, muscle group, the QL.
Yeah, and also the fascia.
Fascia.
Yeah, the fascia
in
holds
there.
all the nerve endings.
Physical
Yeah.
things happen.
Yeah.
And I've been working in an isolated twist for so long, injecting Botox and dermal fillers and whatnot from the same angle since 2007. It's been a long time.
Okay.
And so at the end of the day of my work, I feel the worst. Sometimes in certain yoga poses, sometimes that will alleviate, other times worsen.
Okay.
But it's telling me you need to change. You need
Yeah.
to change. You need to change.
It's your
Can't
weak
keep
spot. It's
working
a
like
weak
this.
spot too, right?
Right. And so for me does it mean I shouldn't be doing this anymore? I should just, evolve, maybe be a trainer or completely reinvent myself. Do something altogether different.
Yeah. Like a podcast?
Like a podcast.
Oh my.
That would be-
Oh my. Wow.
Wait a minute, that's a good
You might be onto something. Wow.
Maybe a podcast. Or do I want to be Buddha and go
Shameless
take my
plugs.
naked ass out into the woods and sit there and starve myself?
I thought you were going to go on a pole. I'm like, let's not go there.
Or
okay?
should I hang from a pole naked?
I don't know. That sounds
I don't know
weird.
which one.
A pole naked.
one?
Actually, that
Scenic?
probably doesn't sound so bad to a lot of people now. It just sounded like you were
We're
like
gonna
going to
vote.
churn on a pig thing.
How about we'll take a vote. Heather, should you hang naked from a
Yeah,
pole?
actually,
Slide up and
listen.
down.
I'm not trying to be gross and graphic, but I have seen your boobs. I'm by accident, but they were.
You
I'm
saw
sorry.
them. It
God
wasn't by
dang it.
accident. It was full blown deliberate.
I've never
showing them.
listened, ladies, wherever that this goddess is born from, we all want that body.
Well, that's
I'll
okay.
tell you that.
I've-
Listen, I can appreciate a woman's body. I can. Like, I know women get so
100%.
crazy about, oh my God, her boobs are showing. I'm like, oh my, they're beautiful.
Let
it's
them
art.
show.
What's
How
the
about let them
fucking?
power
We're
each
so
other
repressed.
instead of being
I thought.
jealous.
Yes,
And
yes, and that's fear.
fear of the
that we're gonna
fear.
circle back
We're going
around,
back
cowgirl.
fear.
we got it.
Cowgirl.
Woo, woo.
Somebody
Oh, that was
demonstrated
bad.
a good cowgirl move the other day.
What?
Plug in the cowgirl,
Oh
Mike.
boy.
Plug it in.
Woohoo! I don't know who that was.
I don't
but
know.
anyway,
Don't
no.
breaking through
breaking through the
of fear.
veil.
Gotta
Yeah.
push through it.
Absolutely.
Push through.
Well,
And
you just
make
have
yourself.
to do it. First of all, you have to just have the awareness that this isn't working for me, right? And also, I think the second part of that is the awareness of, if I don't fix this, it's still not leaving me. So that, I think a lot of people think if they can, cover it up and mask it, or
Band-Aid.
go to
Band-Aid.
too many games, we'll say, like, watch a gazillion Netflix series, like all of a sudden that the problem is gonna somehow disappear.
You can only half-ass fix things before the dam breaks.
Yeah.
And it blows up. Just do it.
Embrace the fear. So when I was first single, I slept with the lights on. Like, I think I was 31 years old. I slept with the lights on like a fucking child. I was scared. I had never been really alone. I'd always, and when my kids were here 1 week and then they'd go to their dad's the second week, I was like, you have to embrace being alone, because what you're going to do is start filling in all these people to sort of mask your own insecurity for whatever the fuck that is. You need to be comfortable being uncomfortable. I think that was
Comfortable being uncomfortable. But somehow you and I understand this lesson, and that we just have to push through it. A lot of people, most people, I would say, don't. They just
It's
don't know that
uncomfortable.
they don't know there's something to do about it.
right. Or what it looks like on the other side of when you do push through. So for my kids, my son said to me, he goes, oh, just yesterday we were moving something. He goes, oh, I thought that was going to take a lot longer. That really wasn't hard at all. And I said, remember that feeling the next time that you say, oh, this is too hard. Remember this experience and how you thought it was going to be something completely different, but it wasn't, you know?
So we have a saying for that. My group of friends, I teach my daughter this all the time. And it's so true. The anticipation of something is so much worse than the actual doing it. If you're going through a divorce, you don't want to file, or you know you have to, or if you need a new career move, or whatever it is.
Right. You're being stagnant, but you're scared.
Yes. And you're anticipating, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this.
Yeah.
Once you're doing it, whether it could be a chemistry test, the anticipation of how bad it's going to be is almost always much worse than what the actual experience ends up being, I think.
Absolutely. And you waste so much fucking time with that.
So much.
Oh my God, the brain
That goes
time.
back to the anxiety comment you said the other day.
Yeah.
What did that do for you?
Right. Well, yeah, none of it. Anxiety never paid a bill.
Worry.
Neither does worrying. But all it does is just, it robs you of time. And time is the most valuable thing we all have. It's the, to me,
That's
the
it.
biggest currency is, what are you doing with your time? And if your brain is a hostage in your own bullshit.
Well, and let me piggyback off of that. How many people, including myself, I've done this too, and I still do it to a degree, say to themselves, once I have this happen, then I can do that.
Oh, yes. It's the elusive.
Once my kid's this, then I can do that.
Yes.
Once I reach this, then I can do that.
Right.
Well,
because
you know
it's
that.
happiness is on the other side. But no, happiness is actually right here and fucking now. If
It's now.
it is, it's a choice.
And that you're trying to reach needs to be now.
Yes.
Don't-
My face just got red because
Wait.
I got excited about what
Yeah.
you're saying. I'm going to shut up now.
It's I know what I want that, but I need to do this first.
Yeah, right.
No.
But no, actually you don't.
No.
You need to abort mission because for me, when I'm also in these places and I catch myself pretty quick because I've been training my own mind to go, what are you thinking now?
Yeah.
Oh, where'd that come from? Right. And then I can go, go backwards a little. I will stop what I'm doing. I don't even care if it's work.
Yeah.
I will stop what I'm doing for 5 or 10 minutes and reset myself because I realize you're about to spiral into this nonsense that causes you anxiety, depression, whatever it might be. Settle down.
Settle.
Take 5 minutes to really be in the moment.
Breathe.
Yeah, I know, but
Take
people are like, oh,
breaths.
breath. It's truly life-changing.
so-
We're not going to, well, that's a whole
can get
nother
into-
one.
yeah.
But no, absolutely just changing the mindset.
Awareness of what's happening. Be
and-
aware this is happening.
Right. And
happening.
And you've created a story that's like 14 chapters ahead that may never happen.
Right.
So just get whatever it is you're afraid of, whether it's, a job choice, maybe, I don't know, maybe your mom wanted you to be a doctor, you became a doctor and you fucking hate it.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. And you need to go tell somebody I think this life is meant for us to truly overcome and conquer all that. And what that looks like on the other side, for at least we're examples of it. Now, I try my best to live as unconventional and not just out of the sake of unconvention.
moment.
Right. But to whatever works for me, whatever I'm not
Yes.
I'm not a
What
hedonist.
works for
okay.
you? What
I'm not
works for you. You're not living for other people and what they think of you and what you want them to think of you. Now, that's a waste of time.
Well, it is, but most people operate that way.
Yes,
and we
I
do too.
have.
And I have too. Listen, I still have that
still
piece.
do a little.
What would they think? I'm like, at the end of the day, if you're not hurting or harming someone, who fucking cares?
Right.
Right? If you're hurting or harming someone, then yeah, you need to get a check, right?
Right.
Because that's just selfishness. But there's something about being true to yourself. And people say to me all the time, like, oh my God, I'm so jealous. I wish I could go do that. And I'm like, listen, don't be jealous. It's a choice. And my life is a lot different.
It's a choice and it's work.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. And constantly telling yourself, having confidence, trusting yourself,
Right.
and believing that these are the right decisions. When you have just wallow in anxiety, that's you worrying too much about the future that's not even happened
Right.
yet. And when you're depressed, that's living in the past.
Past, yes.
All that
yes.
you have is now. Cliche.
Ooh, that sounds like a song. I feel like you should break out. All that we have
now.
is now.
Oh,
Here and now. That's
Girl.
it. It is a song.
Let me tell you.
Here
Just
and
put
now.
Tame Impala on.
Oh.
Break out the Kevin Parker shit.
Who's Kevin
Oh
Parker?
my God!
Dear
He's the
God.
creator of Tame Impala. He's sexy. He's smart.
Oh,
he's
that guy.
He is everything.
Yeah, that's a slurper.
He's a slurper because he's so brilliant. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
But that'll take you to a whole other level of consciousness without even any kind of.
We've got a visitor
There we go.
here
We've
in
got
the
a little
house, Duke. It's
His
just
precious
over
boy.
here, licking my
saying hello.
paw. He just wants to say hi.
So, yes, just living in the past, you're going to be stuck in a depressive
Yes.
mindset.
You know why though? Because passion. You're lacking passion. I do feel, and I know I'm not saying that all depression can be fixed by this, but people that are depressed start to look at what are your thoughts? Are you not getting out of bed? Like, are you
Right.
doing anything that's like you're fiery about, right? So in my life, I would go and do things extreme. So when I would find myself in these places of depression, anxiety, which we all do, right? Some of us mask it better than others, but
We do.
I would do something extreme. Now, not everybody can do this, but actually, I'll be honest, I shouldn't have been fucking doing it either.
Oh, I've been extreme.
honestly. I should not. There's no reason or rhyme of why I should be taking off a month when I'm a single woman who really isn't, independently
It's a
wealthy.
recharge.
It was a recharge,
station.
but what I did was I had to do a lot of sort of legwork to give myself a month off. But I knew I need to reset myself.
You knew.
So I
You know
need
yourself.
to figure out, I mean, if I need to work like 17 jobs to get it to happen,
To bring it back.
I need to do this for myself, and I would make sacrifice. So it is really a sacrifice for yourself. But when I would do that, the passion, because I would immerse myself in things that I love, whether it's gardening, music, candles. I played the fucking violin for a bit.
Yeah, I think because we become very drained. We become drained because we live as empaths. Mm-hmm. And we're so concerned about.
So what's
those
an empath,
people-
real quick? Just
Well,
just like a
who-
15-second.
Okay,
for somebody that doesn't know what that is.
Has constant empathy for everything and everyone around
We're
them.
sponges.
Sentient beings. Like
Ooh, I like that. You sentient
yeah,
being,
thi-
bitch.
Things that sense.
Yeah, we
That can even
sense
be
it.
plants. Bugs.
Yes.
We just have that compassion and empathy for everything.
Yes.
And we want to make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, we feel everybody's. I mean,
Feeling.
if poor Mark, he doesn't have a mic, but Mark is a massive impact. He's an impact and an empath. Okay.
He impacts us as
Yes.
an empath.
As an empath, yes, and he's mic-less right now, but mic-less.
We are, muzzling that motherfucker right now.
right, just for the moment. But no,
Shut the
he's
fuck up, Mark.
definitely king empathic, and we've had conversations about how we both, need to go home and recharge, and solitude time is huge,
I've
right?
taken trips by myself, which it's certain, like right now would not be a good time for me to just get in the car and drive by myself. Maybe it would be a good time, but I don't feel that I have the courage at the moment.
Okay.
There have been times where I would say to myself, it has to be extreme. I drove to Yellowstone myself, down to Sedona. I made so many stops on the way, and I never felt alone 1 second of that trip. Somebody was with me. I had a guru years ago. She passed. But she would say things like, make yourself two people, not schizophrenic,
Right.
but it's you and your best friend with you all the time. Be that best friend to you. Switch roles and be that best friend.
Oh
to you
wow!
all the time.
Wow, I wonder
Watch
all
out
that.
for
Like
yourself.
I'd be like, I need a new friend because this one's
And
an
it's me,
asshole.
and
Like
it's me.
yeah,
And
yeah.
It
To me,
does change how you.
it's all
treat
about
yourself.
perspective, right?
Yes,
it
changes
really
how you treat
is.
yourself. Be your best friend. Two of you.
I like
See
that.
it that way
I
as a
like
double.
that.
Like you have a twin walking around with you, sitting
Yeah.
here, listening, watching your higher self, maybe.
Yeah, so I'm in the car and I feel like my best time is when even like driving. So I'm like a deer. I live like a mile. Well, you too, right?
Yeah.
From where I live and work
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything. So I'm in the car and I catch myself now, even since we started doing this, now we may have we have one follower, but we may have like
We know
no
who that
followers.
one is.
I don't know. It's a mystery. Oh, it's Mark. Oh, damn. Mystery solved.
Is it, Mark?
Oh, thank you, Mark. We appreciate it. But
Mark
I'm
makes it
as
happen.
I'm like, just that we're doing this, whether it's successful or not. Hey, great. What is happening to me is I'm getting in the car. I'm giddy
Therapy.
as fuck, and I'm talking and singing, and next thing I know, I'm looking over to the right, and I'm in my own world, in my own zone, and I'm dancing. They're like, "Go, you're manic, Steph." No, I'm not manic. I'm happy.
Whatever.
I'm in a passionate place, and it's not. It's not based on how much money I'm going to bring in or how many people are going to watch me. It's truly doing something that you don't even know. I tapped into a space that I didn't even know I wanted to be in. And
Now, that goes to a comment you made earlier before we even started
Which
recording.
one?
And I said, oh, we have to put that in because it's apropos for so many people.
So fancy with
and
your apropos.
so many people in our lives ourselves. We said we've had these situations before where, luxury situations didn't necessarily make us happy, did it?
No, listen, and I do appreciate all
Didn't
that
make us
people have
happy.
done and given me, but at the end of the day, I remember driving one time. I was in the best shape of my life. I was married at the time. Gotten a huge bonus. Life was good. Here I am, the best shape. I've never looked better. Driving a nice car. Got friends. Playing tennis. I'm just living
Everything seems to be aligned.
Somebody says this is the dream, and then I looked in the mirror,
Yeah.
and I'll never forget going, well, if this is really the dream, and this is what everybody strives to have, why do I still feel sad? Why do I feel empty? And I realized at that moment I got hoodwinked by society.
Why do you think you felt empty? What were you missing?
I was playing a role, not as a mom. That was my favorite role ever, right? But I was playing so many roles that weren't feeding me. I was feeding everyone
Matrix.
else. I felt like,
you were a Matrix girl.
is that what I
Just
was? Yeah.
Going through the motions,
Oh,
like a
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be this.
Somebody
or that.
told
I'm
me what to
supposed look
do.
like
Somebody
that.
told me this is the kind of car you know. Somebody said if you
Yes.
weigh 120 that all your life problems are going to be over. And here I was, like, I got hoodwinked, you fuckers. Like, because here I am. I checked the boxes on everything that they told me was going to make me happy, and here I am. And I'm sure people are probably thinking, you bitch. Like, no, it was insight. It has to do with my insight. It has
The insight.
nothing to do with all of this bullshit, right? It's nice. I like a nice car. I'm not saying I don't like a nice house and not a nice job.
No, we do.
But they don't define you.
They don't define you, and they're not going to make. They might make you happy for the
Temporary.
moment.
Oh, it's called temporary satisfaction.
And also, I want to comment. Being in pure bliss and pure happiness does not mean it's 24 hours a day staying that way. There are until you die, from the moment you're born until you die, there are only ups and downs in life.
Right. You got to ride them.
It's never going to be, okay, now I reached this goal and I'm
Yeah.
happy going forward forever.
Yeah, I thought
No.
that so many. I think I got,
Way it
that
goes.
about like 20, 30 times. I'm like, no, girl.
No.
It keeps going up. The elevator keeps going up.
Drops.
And
back up,
drops.
drops,
Yeah.
back up. And
Sometimes you
also-
drop 10 floors, though.
You
That's a
do.
that's a bitch.
But also, you know what else kind of sucks?
What?
But it's good.
What?
Is when you have evolved, going through this type of wisdom, spiritual evolution, whatever we want to call it, the more responsible you become with these types of things.
Yeah.
Karmically. Karmic baggage. You can't gossip anymore, or you can't
Right.
talk
Well, if you
negatively
not
about
even like you
yourself
can do
anymore.
anything, but it's going to make you feel a certain way. Right?
You have knowledge about what the consequences are.
Yeah, and
now
it
for
just
certain
feels
things.
icky.
It feels icky.
Because we're human. There are times that I'm like, that bitch, blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
And then
I know.
but it sticks with me, and it's so much closer to my soul than it was 30 years ago. I wasn't really the person calling people names, right? I do it to your face, honestly.
Right. Or if you just have those impulsive, just
Yeah,
freakouts or road rage or
It's about your
anything like that.
vibration, though, and your evolution of like, okay, hang on. But yeah, I don't know. Fear to me is it's there for a reason. Like, if that fucking tiger is going to come after me, I want that healthy fear, right? I'm not going to go, come here, kitty, kitty, while he slashes me, and eats my face off in about a half a second. Hopefully it'll only take a half a second.
There's so much. This Bonnie Greenwell, she I considered her my guru. She passed, but she wrote so many different books on this type of thing. I mentioned her before. You said she lived the whole life. She said you still need that healthy fear. You know, you walk up to the ocean, you want your toes to go in and, you know, have the salt water and the air, but you don't want to go run into a riptide.
Right.
You know, there's you have to learn the dosing of things.
Yeah, and you don't know the dosing.
Dosing.
And you don't know until you overdo it, right? So that's like with our kids.
Learning.
Jesus, if we could teach them, if I would have listened to half the shit anybody told me when I was younger, it's all about the experience. And so that's the ups and downs of life. I look at all of them as a teacher, right? So when it comes, I know a lot of people are like, I can't, why me? Why? I'm like, why not you? Why this guy lost his dad when he was 17?
It happens to all of us.
Why not you?
Why did I get cancer? You know, I will say to Sydney, and sometimes I get frustrated. Like
Sydney's your daughter, who's how old?
My daughter, she's turning 16 soon. But sometimes I will say to her, I'll try to give her these life pearls of wisdom that I've learned that my parents never knew, and it's not their fault.
Right.
But and when you see them just ignoring it and not implementing them, you think, gosh, if I just would have listened.
But it's her lesson, and I learned that. Yeah, I learned that with my oldest son. You know, he was going through something, and I just I wanted to take it all on. We want to take on our kids' pain. Because the people we love, we want to take on whoever's so that they don't feel that.
All of it.
Yeah, but no, that's for them.
They have to learn.
I mean, we're there to soften. We're there to, be a champion for them. But if
you hurt them if they don't experience. Right.
Well, you're just prolonging. You're prolonging their suffering for whatever that might be. Right.
Or they can stay dependent forever on you because you're never letting them experience anything negative, or you keep doing. Let me clean your room for you. I know you're studying.
Yeah. You're still doing that with Sid.
Oh,
I know. Like, sometimes you just can't help what it looks like. You're like,
now
dude.
I shut the door.
Yeah.
Shut the door now.
Yeah.
I have other moms telling me, oh, I remember that, or the same thing. Just let that ride.
Yeah.
But whatever
There's too many other things.
Just. It's whatever. My friend, she says, your lack of preparation should not become my emergency.
Right. Yes.
So, and that's what it is. We just.
Right. But we were raised that's a whole like generational gap difference.
Yeah.
Like, we really were raised different. We did this to them, but it's also society was shaping. It was already shaping into that. So unless you're going to put yourself in an Amish farm somewhere, which doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Amish farm / bubble. Baby bubble, or staying in the bubble and making sure they never have to learn.
Although, listen, my friend was, this is a little side thing. He was skydiving, James, and he said the Amish were in there buying lottery tickets and smokes. I did not know that.
Well,
who knew?
Hell, they're
progressed, but maybe they've always been smoking and buying lottery tickets.
Maybe they just have it all figured out. They don't pay taxes, do they?
I don't have a clue. Now, listen, we're going to get in trouble if somebody Amish has one of these computers. We're dead.
Hold on a second. I'm saying this is a great thing. I'm not.
Okay, good. Don't be.
I'm saying they might have it all figured out.
Yeah, bring that horse and buggy over here and get you,
we
girl.
Should go there and find. Hey, we just said the other day, where do you meet good men? Let's go to the fucking Amish.
Oh God, we would. They would run for the hills. They are like, no, ma'am.
I mean, we'll put
this?
Cosplay. We'll put the costume on. Go in and
Yeah. Okay. It's called an outfit. I think it's their. It's not a costume.
Well, for me, it would be a costume.
Right. Of course. A prop. Yeah. We're used to props, but no.
We can plug in the Amish.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So for anyway, enough of the Amish.
Back to the feet.
But they do have good dogs as well. Just saying. If anybody needs some good dogs, they've got some good arm.
Came from there.
You see? Okay, good. Now we're done. We're done plugging the Amish right now.
Done.
Thank you. All right. So the fears, like things that I've done in my life that maybe, is he trying to get out? The things that had I listened to fear and not done it, my life would look so drastically different. Like if I'm just sitting here, this is the first time I've actually thought about it. We didn't give this much thinking. We just turned the mics on and we were like, where do we go?
I think that's the best way.
Well, maybe not. I mean, maybe in the beginning, sure. But so the things that just, for me, a lot of, like, I wouldn't be divorced, right, if I had let fear, because I was like one of the first ones in my area to do it. And you take, like, oh God, this is so scary. Okay, I wouldn't have actually gone into the cosmetic industry, because my story with that it's crazy the way I got in.
That story.
Yeah, well, I mean, that'll be for another day. But
yeah.
Had I not taken this wild leap of faith, and during that time, I was like, I can't do this. This is too big for me. And I remember the girl who basically said, look, I'm gonna get you into this job. She looked at me, she goes, you may not know you have it in you right now, but I do.
Yeah.
And she took that leap of faith with me that allowed me to believe in something that I was, that later on I'm like, oh my God, I was actually really good at that.
You just need that person that is like a catalyst.
Yeah, those are
a voice that just gives you that last minute, I'm doing it. I can jump and the net will appear.
Yeah, or sometimes they're like really nice, and then sometimes it's a get the fuck up, Steph. I had that. I had a lawsuit. One of the few that I've had. And yeah, so anybody needs any lawsuit tips, just come to me. Yeah, I'm practically a paralegal.
I don't want to have to ask that advice.
No, don't.
I know where to go.
Yeah, or don't, because I've been in a few. But what was my point? Damn it.
Well,
lost it.
The point is the same. It just becomes, it's the same. You said you had a woman, somebody that gave the cosmetic industry was telling you, the divorce part of it.
Yeah. So had I not jumped in, I wouldn't have ever done this, which I would have never done Roots, which most people were like, what? There were a lot of nice people, not to say that there's that many haters out there, but there definitely are people who put seeds of doubt, whatever it is new that you're going to do. So they're like, wait, even
that's
doing this
fear. That's their own fear of the unknown, that they fear they can't do something themselves.
Right.
They can't jump out of the hamster wheel.
Absolutely. Or they just don't like what you're doing, and they feel in their mind, their perspective, that this is just not appropriate for you. They'd like to see you doing something else, right? So I had somebody tell me, even just with this podcast, I said, I think I'm going to start a podcast. And this person said, well, you're not a journalist. And I said, do you need to be a journalist? And I said, well, I'm a conversationalist. I think that's okay. But so I was like, I don't even need to justify myself.
Do we even have any authentic journalists anymore?
I mean, yeah, so good. Sign me up, right? I think that's why podcasters are actually having global, what do they call it?
Hold on. In fact, maybe you are the authentic journalist versus some of these actors that are working for these different big legacy media companies. Who are just,
like nobody's trusting them anyway. So, but those just are my example of seeds of doubt that people will plant in people that they don't want them. And whether it's conscious or subconscious, I would like to believe most people don't do that intentionally. It's just their wiring.
Well,
it's like safe, stay in the safe, stay over here in this pool with us. Don't go out, because once you jump out of here, you're going to go to another pool, because God knows we don't have very many free fucking rangers, free thinkers, right?
Right.
With a set of balls.
Right.
Like, go.
Well, listen, here's a really good example of that. When I was graduating my nurse practitioner training, I had a cardiopulmonary emphasis. It was acute care.
That sounds so fancy.
It's not. Listen, that's just what I did for so long, in critical care. And that was my emphasis. And I did really well on my comprehensive exams and just did really well. I had really, really good professors. They were excellent, brilliant people. But when I came out and decided to do this aesthetics thing, this was not something they liked to hear.
Okay.
I went through all this training. They're known for their brilliance in all of this acute care stuff. And that was reflective on my program when I chose not to do that, I guess. And so all of these opinions came from them. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? Are you working in a salon? What you're going to work in a salon? You're going to do what are you talking about, beauty?
Yeah. So they want to box you into where they want to see you.
Some of them deleted me as Facebook friends.
Oh, what losers.
Because I wasn't, I wasn't in the group think
Yeah,
tank
well, again,
anymore.
that's what it is. It's all these
club.
societal bullshit boxes
Yeah.
and I feel, sometimes I might circle in a little of them because you can't just be, that lone wolf all day, every day. If you want to make an impact in this life and you want to, feel connection and community, right? But I notice when I politically, like politics is one, right? I'm not even going to go into
We
it,
can
but
get to that.
yeah, but like that, people just start to oust you. People start to stop talking to
It's
you.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It goes back to fear. They're uncomfortable.
Yeah, that would probably be like if maybe somebody who is straight up vegans are sitting there with two people eating meat, they might have a problem, and that's a silly one, but you start really looking at all these societal boxes and, where do I fit in? And if you don't, the minute you start to question any of these patterns, right, or groups, that's when they start to wait.
Well, because it goes back to investing your time in a belief system. Time. You
Yes.
went on to say how valuable time is.
Right.
When you invest a certain amount of time into a belief system and someone challenges that, that is so uncomfortable. It's the most uncomfortable feeling in the world to feel like
Yes.
maybe I wasn't investing my time or in my belief system in the right. Am I stupid?
Right.
Was I wrong? You don't want to think that you were duped or that you were wrong. So you will fight to the death
Right.
to protect your belief system.
Right.
And, there are certain sides of either side of whatever aisle of politics. Some are more tolerant of opinions versus others that are not, that are, before were considered the ones that were very tolerant. I don't
Right.
know how we want to word that,
Yeah.
but it all comes back to this fear topic. And
yeah, it's
fear
of
of the unknown.
acceptance and these, if you are dwelling in these very closed knit boxes of people, you got one disruptor. Think about it just synergistically.
It's cultish.
Yeah, well, it is. All of it is. I don't care what,
It's a cult.
even sports and games and stuff like that. Like all of it. But I do feel that without taking real risks in your life for you, right? I'm not saying go jump like
Without
Frogger in front of a
without
car.
guarantees in front of you.
There's no guarantee
There
of
aren't
anything.
ever.
Safety is
People
a
want that.
freaking illusion.
People want that.
They do want that, but they've created it in their mind. So what happens is, unfortunately, to do that, you have to shrink who you are.
Yeah.
And that, I don't think either of us have, we're fighting that. I won't do that. I've done it a couple times in my life, honestly, but I'm actively like, no. Whatever's meant to happen for me will happen, but I get to choose. Nobody, I don't care who you are, doesn't get to tell me what to do in life for myself.
And I think one of the greatest evils is contentment. A word. Content.
Yes,
I think
yes.
When you're content,
When you're
but not
complacent,
quite
yeah.
complacency. You're not quite,
You're not
happy.
living. You're just
Not really.
existing.
You're half living.
Yeah, you're existing.
Existing. There's something bigger and better out there. You can feel it. It's your intuition. It's
Yeah.
your subconscious telling you something. You are meant for something
Bigger.
greater and
Yeah.
bigger, and some evolution and growth.
Is that what's her name? That says playing small doesn't serve anyone. Is it Maya Angelou? I
don't know.
I can't say her name.
Oh,
She's-
how about Kurt Cobain? He left that suicide note. What was it? It's better to fade. It's better to fizzle, or what is it? Than fade away. Better to burn out. It's better to burn out than fade away. And that was also lyrics.
Ooh, I
to Def
love
Leppard.
that.
It's true.
Yeah.
Live your life. Don't be sitting there in complacency and wait for things to come to you. They're not going to. It's about you making it happen.
Yes, you putting that fear, like it's fear. People are like, "Oh, you're fearless." No, I'm not fearless. Actually, I just have faced it so many times that I'm like, "Oh, you again, different version of you." But you again.
And it's also a different version of me because you made me grow last time.
Yes, I grew because of you.
Yeah.
I looked at the hardest times in my life. There are 4 or 5 things that I can pull from my memory right now, and I would see myself going up this mountain against the wind, and I'm like, but you know what that's doing? These are mental muscles that are creating. So once I get up there, okay, next time something comes my way, and it's about emotional resilience, but you can't know what that really feels like. So if you're the person who, you get in your car and all of a sudden it doesn't start and you start freaking the fuck out and you go back to bed, why me? This sucks. You can tell that you have really
that goes back to the power of words you said before, thoughts and words.
Yeah, but it's like you realize that, okay, life can just give you a little love tap and you're going to go fall down and like a bug on your back. That just means to me that you haven't had enough situations in your life. You've not allowed enough unknownness.
You want a pad there all the time.
You want a pad. Yeah, no, there's no pad. Go get the diaper off and come play in life.
That mountain
Yeah.
that you've just done all that climbing.
Yeah. So, all right. Well,
face your fears.
Face your fears, people. And if you have any comments or if we screwed something up, we are semi-experts in a lot, or just semi-novices. I'm not quite sure which it is, but this is all our own personal experience. Do not, if you're a hater, please just keep rolling. We don't need it just yet. We got to wait for we get a real following. Then we'll ask you to make some comments. But up until then, we're just two ladies trying to share our experiences and having a good time doing it. Have a wonderful rest of your day, guys.